So let's start with data science. So, oh, do you see echo? Okay. So if you're not talking, you can put yourself in mute, and I think that may help. So if you're not able to hear, let me know. So this is the second session in data science. Second semester in data science, and this is going to be the first session. To level set our program, if you know programming and if you know AI, this may not be. You may catch up few. Like if you're in your in your prior like if you already attended the AI, you may catch one or two items, but you may not like more out of it. So this is a continuation of the last semester of Introduction to Data Science. And if you don't have the programming background, I highly recommend you to go now and uh, expose yourself to the programming. I will show all the resources because I'm seeing some new students also. So to level set, it is going to be the continuation of the Introduction to Data Science the last semester. So what is data science? What do you think? Like, can you unmute yourself and tell what do you think about data science? What is your opinion about data science? Anyone?
It's a process that uses algorithms to code.
Okay. So what do you mean by algorithm here?
Like certain codes is in like the for loop and the while loop to like do certain commands.
Okay. So you're saying it's an algorithm to process data, right? That's what your definition, right?
Yes.
Good definition. So that is good, but the complete, if you want to have a complete idea of about the data science, this is the data science. The data science is the it is the integration, or it is taking the skill set from various area. It starts, as you said, it's the coding skill. You need coding skill for sure, yes. Also, you need to know math and statistics, and you need to know the subject matter. Let's say if you're going to work on a particular industry, you need to know about that industry also. So when you see all three, when you combine everything, then that is the data science. So what you might have already have the programming skills. So right now, for the first two sessions, what we are going to talk about here is math and statistics. For the first two sessions, we'll be talking about math and statistics, and then we will be combining your programming skills to statistics and the industry. So this is what we are going to do. Any questions here? I'm going to pass for a second, and any questions?
What's the danger zone?
Danger zone, let's say you have a programming knowledge and you are going for, you have the industry, but if you don't know the statistics, if you don't know how to read the data, that is the danger zone. So you need to know how to read the data. You have the programming skills, you have the subject matter expertise, but if you don't know how to read the data, because every data is going to tell you a story, right? And we are going to create a story out of the data. So if you don't know how to apply your math skills, how to apply your statistics, that is the danger zone. Good question. Cybersecurity, yes, we can say it's a cybersecurity. Also, we can say And why we are like a cybersecurity, what we are going to do is we don't want anyone to hack, right? But our goal is to get some meaningful information from the data. So that's what we are going for data science. Let's say you know math and just the statistics and the subject matter. That is the traditional research, like the doctors, scientists, they are researching on something. That is the traditional research. They will use the, if you might have attended the triangular talk in the first session, doctor was talking about how they did the research on the drug development process. There he was using the traditional research as well as the programming the AI. So when they brought the AI, they were able to reduce the time to create the drug. So that is why we need the programming skills too. I know you are good with programming. Yeah, like programming, you're all smart kids, you learn programming easily. But what I need you to understand is you need to also have math and statistics and industry experience in order to have a full-blown data science experience. So are you good? Any questions?
Just one question. So, like the hacking skills and the math and statistics knowledge and substantive expertise, are these like three branches of data science, kind of?
We can say that we can, but these are the main thing you need. We in the further slides, I will show what are the other areas that data science are going to, like what other interdisciplinary areas we are going to use. So this is the basic thing. Basically, you need to have a programming knowledge, math and statistics, and the subject matter. But you need to have in information, like it is an interdisciplinary field. So let me go to the next slide. It may explain you. So it is an interdisciplinary field. So you need everything here. So you need to have like for the data side, you need data science, you need to have all this. You need to know like the scientific method, how you're going to get the data, the statistics, how you're going to analyze, and the math, the function of like summation and all this aggregation. Then advanced computing and data visualization. You need to have the data visualization plays an important role in now the data science, and hacker mindset, that is your programming. It is the programming thing and the domain expertise. Let's say you're going to attend, like if you're going to uh, do the data science for a particular field, you need to know about that, the basics about the field, right? Otherwise, you will not be able to understand what the data is telling and what data terms that they are using. You need to know that. For example, if you're in the mortgage industry, if you're going for the home loans, then you need to know what is the interest rate, what is the what is the time period you want to pay off the loan. All those, that it is the, we call it as the domain. When you're in the industry, you will get about that. You will know about that. So data science is an interdisciplinary field. This is from Duke University. If you go to Duke University, you can see this, how they explain how they like data science is getting it is pulling all the resources from other fields. Are you good? Let's go to the next one. So why do you need to learn data science? Can you answer it? Why do we need data science now? So what is the motive behind you coming to this class?
I don't know if this is like correct, but I think since like as the years pass by, like data science is advancing more and more. So I guess like learning it is getting more mandatory.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good one. Yeah, and Krishna, I'm seeing when you're talking, can you announce your name so I know who's talking also? So yeah, it is around us, and it is really important to know. Yes, that's right. And any other ideas you have, like any other motives you have?
I'm Saju, and I kind of agree. I think with the world kind of like expanding, it's good for everyone to have a bit of a technology base.
Okay, that's That's right. Right. So yeah, it's all around us. Yeah, that's right. Good, Jonathan. Okay. So why we are going for data sciences? It's a rapidly growing career. And if you look at that, if you just Google for data science job openings, it is everywhere. They need data scientists, data analysts, data engineer, everywhere. They need a lot of people in this field. And yes, you're right. I feel I agree with you. Yes, we need more data science because in future it is the buzzword, right? And it is interdisciplinary. It is not like when you have it is not like programming heavy, or it is not like math heavy. You can apply everything in data science. Whatever knowledge you have, you can apply here. And it is advancing. Every day it is advancing. And you have open source now. With the open source and advanced technology, you can create all the chatbots or you can create your own little mini bots, right? Have you heard about the wording game? Are you playing the game wording?
Can you please repeat that? It was kind of hard to hear.
The wording game. I think
No.
this is yeah.
Oh, no.
Okay. Okay. If you heard about it, it is a game that like a lot of people are playing every day, and someone created a chatbot to come up with the answer for the tomorrow's quiz. So if you know, like it is advancing because with the data science you can predict a lot of things, and you when you predict it, like you're like you know what's going to happen, right? So that is the beauty of the data science. You can analyze the data and get like you can check what the next step is going to be. So let's go to the next one. Okay, so these are the careers in data science. So you have a multiple, if you see, you have tons and tons of career in data science. You can see all these names. I just Google it with these names, and you know what skill set they are offer like requiring for the jobs. Just Google it. It is just for fun. You can Google this one. So these are the sources we will be using, and I will be publishing this present PowerPoint after the class. So what we will be using is this is the Kaggle. It is the if you are already in AI class, you might have already known about this Kaggle website, and this is the website where you can download the data for your. If you want to play with data, you can download it here. And Gallup is a institute that is doing a lot of research. So the data is abundant. There is a lot, like you can the data, it is echoing. Is someone on mute?
Yeah, it's a bit echoing.
Yeah. Can you hear now? It's still echoing.
It's not like echo, it's kind of like acoustic sound kind of thing. So, and everyone is on mute. So
Okay. I know I'm okay. So these are the data sources that you can use to get the data to play with the data. You can create your own data, but these are the sources. In the class, we will be using these data sources frequently. Then, so what do you think about statistics? That is the main topic for today, statistics. What do you think? What can you define statistics for me? Anyone? Have you ever heard a statistics class?
Is statistics defined as data that shows a trend or like a downtrend?
Okay, good one, Jonathan. So it is statistics is nothing but analysis of data. Yes, it is collection and analysis of data. And with the analysis, what we are going to do is we are going to predict the future. So that is what statistics is about. Okay. So this is the statistics. So this is the definition. So it is 5, you need to do like the collecting, analyzing, interpreting, and presenting. So these are the things you are going to do. First, you're going to collect. So when you when I'm saying collecting, what do you mean by collecting? How can we collect the data?
Maybe you could
Or
like
maybe-
look at a database, or you could make a survey and collect data that way.
Yes, that's good. So with us, so what we're saying is, if you're collecting the data, if you're doing a survey, that is the primary source. You are doing the survey and you're collecting the data. Let's say you're using a database or you're using an existing data, that is the secondary data source. Okay? Then analyzing. What you can do for analyzing?
You can look at the data and like find the percentage of something or graph it.
Yes,
Or
that's good.
trend.
Yeah, yes. So what we can do is, when you're analyzing, you're going to describe the data. You're going to describe. We have certain keywords in statistics, and we will be doing all those analysis. Then we'll be using the visual presentation like graphs, charts, and using the graphs and charts and the analysis, we are going to interpret it. Interpret means we are going to get some data, like meaningful information out of the data, and then we are going to present it. So that is the statistics. It starts with collecting, analyzing, interpreting, and presenting the data. And here you need to know, these are the basic words that you need to know in statistics: the population, sample, parameter, static. Static is we are talking about the sample, then the variable. So these are the key vocabulary that you may need to know about the statistics. After this class, please Google for each and every term and come up with your own definition, and like try to understand and try to apply this to your daily work. Next. This is about the aspects. So when you're talking about the statistics, you're going to design the process. Somebody sets a survey, right? So when you're going to do survey, you need to identify who you're going to give the survey. Are you going to collect the data from the students? Or you want to collect the data from the teachers? Let's say you're going to do something for your school. You're going to collect data for the school. You can collect, like giving the survey to the students. You can survey the students, you can survey the teachers, or even within the students, do you want to collect the data from the people who are in the sports, any athletes? So so this is where we are, right? So you are going to design the process of data collection, and you need to find what is the population and what kind of data you need and how much you need and how to collect. That is the design phase. Then you're going to describe the data. Like I hear, like you're going to summarize, you're going to find the percentage of it, or you're going to find the mean, median. You're going to describe the data. Then after describing, you're going to do from the what you infer, what you got from the analysis. That these are the aspects of the statistics. Next. So here we talk about any questions about the aspects before we move to population and sample.
So one was define and another one was describe. What was the last one again?
Can you repeat your question? You're breaking up.
I'm sorry. So this is Cobbin speaking. So one aspect was designing, another aspect was describing the data. What was the last one again? I couldn't catch that.
Inference. So what we do is we are going to collect it. For collecting, you have to design the process. Then you're going to describe the data. Describers, you're going to summarize, you're going to use graphs and charts to describe. Then inference, that means you're going to get some results out of your data, or you're going to infer it. like what you learn from your analysis. That is the last.
All right, thank you.
Year. So now we are going to the key terms, the population and sample. I'm going to give you a little task and I want you to design the population and sample for this. Okay, my objective of the study is going to see is to let's say you are in a school and I want to know whether you are happy with the vending machine in the school. But like that is my objective. So how do I define the population and how do I define the sample? So let's say you, yeah, go ahead.
I think for population, you would choose like a certain amount of people, or you would just choose like the same amount of boys and same amount of girls, and then take each of their answers like a yes or no, and then that would be their answers would be the sample.
That's a good way to put, but what we do a population is, let's say if I want to identify whether you're satisfied with the vending machine in your school, my population is all the people in your school, like whether students, teachers, whoever in the school, that is my population. And out of the population, what I will do, I will select, let's say I'm going to select 10 students and 5 teachers. And I'm going to collect the data from them. That is the sample. Because you cannot study the whole population, right? If you want to study, you cannot select the whole population, right? That's why you're selecting the samples. The other easy way to put it is, let's say, if the doctor want to check your blood, if they want to check your blood, what they will do? Will they check the whole thing or they will draw a small sample of it to check?
Sample.
Yeah. So in that case, your whole, like the whole population in that blood draw is the blood in your body. And whatever they are drawing, the small amount, that is the sample. With the sample study, they are going to infer whatever the characteristics of the sample, it will be the same character. That's what they are inferring. They are going to say, I studied a small amount of your blood. Your small amount of blood has this. These are the things you have. So you have this. See, this is kind of like, this is a simple example for population and sample. Can you come up with anything else? Can you give me an example for a population and a sample?
This is a little random, but like, I guess you could kind of think of a population as like a whole pizza, and then the sample would be like a piece of the pizza.
Can you repeat it? I didn't.
I guess you could kind of think of a population as like a whole pizza, and then like the sample could be like a piece of the pizza.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good thing. So let's say it's a whole pizza, right? So if you have a multiple toppings, That's a good example. So when you're drawing the sample, what you need to do, you need to have all the toppings, right? To sample it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that's a good example. So that's a good example for putting the population and sample. So the sample needs to have the characteristics of the population. In the pizza example, if you have multiple toppings, if you're not taking all the toppings and you're going to sample, you may not get the whole thing, right? So in order to get the right taste, you need to get the sample that has all the toppings. So that will be represent the population. And when you go to Costco, what do you do? Before pandemic, in Costco, you'll get the samples, right? So with the sample tasting, what you're doing is you're trying to identify the characteristics, or you're going to define the characteristics of the population. So that is the beauty of the statistics. So we are not going to study the whole thing. We are going to study a small sample and we are going to find the characteristics of the population. So good one. I like the pizza example. Okay, next. So as I already mentioned, we have two sources of data, right? One is the primary source, second is the secondary source. If you're collecting the data firsthand, that is the primary source. You can do by surveys, observation, experiments, or the focus interviews, everything. Have you attended our triangular talk about the cereal industry? They were talking about this. They were talking about how they are collecting the data, the focus group, the questionnaires and survey. They were talking about it. So that is the primary source. And the secondary source, as someone already explained, we have the databases. Right now, we can get data from multiple sources. The secondary sources available readily. You can get it from books, journals, or any web page. You can get the data from there. So we have primary and the secondary source with the data. Next, we are going to okay. So then we are going to talk about the types of data. So the type may be a qualitative and quantitative. Can you give me an example for a qualitative data?
Eye color.
High color, yeah, that's a good example. Yes. Height. Okay, pardon?
As species, because they always discover new species all the time.
Species. Okay. Okay. Category. Okay. So whether you like it or not, that if let's say, do you like pizza? If I'm asking that, that is yes or no question. That is a category, right? You're saying like yes and no. That is a category. You can categorize it. Are you satisfied or not satisfied? Those are like qualitative. And then we have the nominal data, whether like you can say uh, like your shoe size, or when you're saying like on the scale of 10, what is your pain level? Those are like qualitative data. Then quantitative is like your weight, your height, or your wherever we can measure it in numbers, that is the quantitative data. So when you're working with data, you need to know what kind of data you're working on, whether it is a qualitative or quantitative, or because this will help you to determine what kind of analysis you can do, what kind of statistical methods you can apply to analyze, what kind of graph you're going to use to analyze. So you need to identify the types of data when you're working with data. And the next one. So as I already mentioned, we have like two types of statistics. One is the descriptive and one is the inferential. So descriptive is we are going to talk about, we are going to summarize and we are going to present the data and we are going to analyze with a bar chart, pie chart and histograms. And inferential is after the analysis, what you conclude from the analysis. What do you learn? What did you identify from all these descriptive data? That is the inferential statistics. Okay. So then we are going to go for mean median mode. Here I'm going to switch my thing from the presentation mode. Let me go for the data. So this is the data I downloaded from Kaggle. And I'm going to show in Excel because I'm comfortable with Excel. You can use any means to analyze your data, but now I'm going to show the Excel. So if you look at this, this is the data. So what do you like? What do you see, and what do you understand from the data here?
Yeah, I see that this is telling me the cost of gold.
Yes.
And this can tell me whether gold has gotten more expensive or cheaper over the time.
Okay, that's a very good one. Okay, yes. So here you have the year, right? You have year. So you have year from, so the data is from 1978 to 2021. And you have the various currencies. All these currencies, we have the gold price. This is the year, like annual gold price. I also have a daily gold rate. So this is the gold rate on a daily basis. So we have two types of data. So what we need to do is we are going to find the mean, median, and mode, okay, on this one. So what do you mean by mean? What do you mean by average? Can you?
Sum divided by count.
Yeah,
What
sum
is
divided by
CNY?
count. That's right. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Also, what's CNY? Is it Chinese yen?
Probably. Maybe you can search it. What is it? Or Canadian? Or I'm not sure. You can check that one. I have this Google price. You can check what is this. Google is your best friend, right? So let's do this. CNY. Okay, Chinese. Yeah, you're good. Chinese yuan. So this is the gold price in various currencies. So what we are going to do is we are going to analyze the data. As you mentioned, we are going to check whether the gold price got cheaper or expensive over the time. Okay? So what do you think? What do you like after seeing this? What is your first thought? What do you need to do?
On my first thought when seeing this, I noticed that from 1978 to 1979, there was an increase of over $100.
In 1978 to 19?
And then from 1979 to 1980, there was a $300 increase, and then it decreased like $200 the next year.
So you're seeing ups and down, right? You're seeing all ups and down. Okay. So what measure, like if I'm going to graph it, what kind of graph will help to understand
I'd
the
say
ups
a
and downs? Pardon?
line graph.
Line graph. Okay, let's do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to
A scatter plot would work too.
scatter plot. Okay. Let's see what the recommended chart. This is the line graph. Line graph. Let's do this and let's do the scatter plot. Okay, this is
Technically, a bar graph could work too. It would just be
Okay.
really.
let's do that. Let's do everything. And, so, I need to copy it. Then I will change to graph, right? It's a line graph. The line graph. Okay. You have the bar chart and the scatter plot, right? That's the next one. Scatter plots, scatter plot. Okay. So what does this tells us?
I also noticed something else. The value of Indian rupee is really low.
Yeah, you can see that, right? Because the if you look at that, the chart is going off way here. Yeah, that's right.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Is INR Indian rupees?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So you can see if you just by looking at this data, you're giving all these inferences, right? Just looking at the visualization you're getting to. That is all data science is about. Okay? You're going to collect the data, you're going to analyze it, and based on analysis, you're coming up with some conclusion. Okay? And so let's go back to our representation and let's start with mean, median, and mode. So mean, you already said mean is the summation of the sum of observation by the total count. Then median is the mid value, and mode is the most common number in the data set. Okay, so now I'm going to give you few data set, and I want to know what value that you can use or which one is most suitable in that case. Okay, I'm going to give you a set of scores of the students. So in that case, do you think mean will help, median, or mode? going to
I'm
give
sorry, what did you say?
I'm going to give you the scores of some student. Okay. It is out of like 100. I'm going to just make up some numbers.
And then do we have to figure out the mean, median, and mode?
Yeah, you need to figure out and tell me which one is like good in this case. I'm going to give you this, or you can come up with your own number. Okay, I have these numbers, right? So I have these numbers. I have like seven set of score. I want to like what is the mean here? If you want, I can make it bigger so you can see this. So the mean is the average. You can see it here itself, right? Mean is, you can see this one. Can you see this? Is it big or small? This can you see this number?
Yeah, it's pretty big. It's good.
Okay, so here you're going to find the mean, median, and mode. Okay. You can use any tool you want. You can use your calculator. You can use your see someone else. Mean is better. Yeah, that's good. Okay.
The mean is going to be about $76.43 or
Yes.
43, 76.43.
Okay, 76.43. Okay.
The median's going to be 78, by the way, too.
78. Okay, what is the median? What is median?
The middle number, basically.
The middle number.
Our middle number is median. Okay, what is mode? What is mode?
The number that appears.
Yeah, here no mode. Yeah, you are right. So the number that reoccurs every time is mode. So here, if you are trying to find out, like, if I'm going to compare, if I'm going to say compare the two sets of score, then my mean will be good. Let's say if I'm going to compare within the data set, I want to know which is the middle number. If it is dispersed, like if the lower, let's say you say 78, right? Instead of this 69, I'm going to just say 10. Okay. So even if I'm going to change this one, the mean is going to change, right? The mean is going to be changing. The mean is going to be 68 if I'm going to change the number. But the median is going to be still 78, right? Can you see the difference? Like even if I'm changing one, so we have two sets of data. Previously, I think it was 69, right? So I'm having two sets of data, score 1 and score 2. Okay, so here the mean is for the score 1. So for the score 1, the median is going to be mean is going to be 68. And the median is going to be 78 for sure, and no more. Okay, for this one, mean is going to be 76 or 76.42 and 78 and no more. So if you look at that, see, we have a lower value here, right? So that value will, so if median is just looking at the middle of the score, whereas average is summing up everything. So you need to find the difference between these two, and you need to know when you can use the mean, when we can use the median. Here, I think mean is the best score to use because it will tell you the summary of what happened on this, right? I agree with all you, like your chat, you're saying the mean is the best. Instead of this, let me say,
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, if you wanted to like properly represent like the student, what if like they were just like having a weird day when they got like the 10 score, but then if you use the mean, wouldn't that kind of like
Yes.
give you Yeah.
This is an outlier. If you look at that, that is why you need to outlier. Yeah. If you see, let's say the student may not like if they are not feeling well or it is not their day, their score may be a down one. So in that case, you need to look at the outliers, and you may need to look further deep and check whether you need to include it in your mean or you need to exclude it. So that is why we are going to dig deeper and we are going to learn about the outlier and the interquartile range, and we are going to learn a lot about the data. You got a good point. Are you good? Can we move to the mode? Like we talk about mean and median, we are going to talk about mode. So let's say, can you type in your shoe sizes? Can you type your shoes size in the chat? I'm going to just collect the data. 8.5. Okay, so I think this is enough, okay, for now. So let's do the same exercise here. We are going to find the mean, median, and mode. Okay? Okay, can you find the mean for this one? So mean is going to be
Is it 8?
8. Yeah, mean is 8. And we want median. Median is going to be this. And you want mode. Mode is 8. Okay. So what do you like?
It's the median 8.25.
Oh, median 8. Let me show you that. Let me here. So when we are going to find the median, so we need to find the midpoint. So what I'm going to do is so in order to find the midpoint, you need to sort the data. So I'm going to sort the data for this data. Column G. Okay. So I'm going to sort. So you need to, when you're finding the median, you need to sort the data and you need to find the middle point. So if you look at that, we have how many? We have 10
numbers,
right? 10 numbers. So since it is 10, you're going to find this is the midpoint, right? This 8 and 8.5 is the midpoint. So what we are going to do is we are going to take the average of it. So 8 plus 8.5 by 2. So let me go back to the presentation, show you. See, this is how you're going to find the median. If it is odd, you're going to see the middle term. If it is even, you will be getting 2 middle terms. You're going to add it and divide by 2. Are you good with more? So this is how we are going to calculate. So median is the midpoint. Any midpoint, that is the median. So here we have 10 set of data. So the median is going to be the average of 8 plus 8.5. Let me add one more. I'll just let me just do 7 for the sake of the data. So in this case, let's say if I have 7, it is going to change. Everything is going to change. So here the median is going to be 7.9. And the median, we are going to change the formula. And the mode also, we need to find the mode. Mode is going to be this. So now it is a different set. So here you see mode is mode and median because I'm adding one more record, it is changed. Let's say I'm going to add another record, which I'm going to say G. The average is not good. The average is going to change. When it is the formula, so can you see the change if I'm adding one, if I'm changing one number, it is changing. So in this case, if someone wants to sell the shoe, what type, like what size they need to keep and what, like what, like what do you use? You use mean, median, or mode.
You would use mean. You have to find the average.
You use the mean to find the average. But do you think I can give you 7.45 size and it will fit your, like it will fit most of your most of the students?
You
No.
can use a mode.
No.
No. So here you will use the mode. Here in this case, the median and mode are same, but here we want to know how much is frequently happening. So if I want to satisfy most of you, I need to give shoe size of 8. So that or I need to bring more shoe size of 8. So in this case, I need to use the mode. So the statistical definition, you need to know how where you can use mean, median, and mode are really important when you're going to analyze the data. So are you good? Any questions in mean, median, and mode? If you don't have any questions, I think we can move to the next one. The next thing we are going to talk about is the standard deviation. The standard deviation is nothing but a measure that tells us how the data is variable from its mean. And we need to find the variance and the standard deviation. You can find with the formula. So what I'm trying here is not to teach the formula. What I'm trying here is to how to understand the scores, how to apply that number. Because standard deviation, you can use your calculator or you can use your spreadsheet to find the standard deviation. But how you're going to apply it, that is the key takeaway from this class. So a standard deviation is the measure that measures the variability within the data, and it is going to tell how the numbers are spread. And the formula, we are going to find the square root of variance, and the variance is here. So or do you want to see the formula for the standard deviation? I think we can do this.
Yeah.
Or you know that standard deviation. So the standard deviation formula. So this is the standard deviation formula we are going to use. So we are going to find the variance and we are going to do the square root of the variance. So this is the standard deviation formula. And here you need the, this is the mean. You need the average in order to find the standard deviation. So let's go back to our Excel and find the standard deviation of this one. So,
Just asking, will we learn like the equation like later in the section?
can you repeat the question? We are going to just use the formula here. We are not going to use the I think what I'm going to do is here. Standard deviation, and I'm going to use this. This is the data. So standard deviation. Standard deviation. Same thing. Standard deviation. And
Just to make sure, the standard deviation is it like how much each data point
Point
different
is
from the mean or
mean.
something?
Yeah, that's right. You got it right. So standard deviation is how much. Yeah. So how much each. Yeah, that is the right way to put. Because if you even look at the formula, what we are doing is here is the formula, right? We are finding this is the each value in the population, and this is the mean. So what we are doing is we are finding what is the difference between that data point and the mean, and we are squaring it, we are summing it, and that is the variance. So it is standard deviation is how the data is different from its mean or how it is dispersed from its. So we are using the formula. If you want to calculate it, you can calculate it by hand. You can use all the formulas and calculate it by hand. You can take it as a fun exercise. If it is fun to you, you can do that. Otherwise, you can just use the formulas, or you can use any. You can use the calculator to do the standard deviation too. So the standard deviation. Let me do this. So this the standard deviation is here. So what we are saying is that each data point, the data point is like 2.47 out of its mean. That's what we are saying. So here, let me go back here. Why we need a standard deviation? Why do we need a standard deviation? Once you know the standard deviation, you can know like what is the spread of the data. So we need to let's say if I'm going to add the mean and one standard deviation, I'm going to get 68% of the data. If I'm going to add one mean and two standard deviation, I'm going to get 95% of my data. And if I'm going to add the mean and the three standard deviation, I'm going to get 97%, 99% of my data. Let's do this here. This is the graph I want to just keep this in your mind. What you're going to do is if it is one standard deviation, it is 68%. Two standard deviation, it is 95, and three, it is 99. So let's do it here. So here is my answer. So we have the standard deviation and the mean, right? So let's do one sigma, like one standard deviation. We are going to add and minus. So one standard deviation is we are going to nothing but we are going to 68 plus 28. Plus side is going to be it is 68 plus 28 is
96 point something.
okay, it's 96. That is the one standard deviation, and it is going to be the plus side. Let's do one standard deviation minus, it's going to be 68 minus one standard deviation. So we are going to say 39. So what we are saying here is our 68% of this data, the 68% of data is between 96 and 39. Are you getting it? So if it is one standard deviation, this is what we are saying. The 68% is going to be between that score. Like we are going to add one standard deviation plus the mean. Let's do the two standard deviation.
Could you repeat that?
Yes, let me. So what we are saying is, you know the mean of this data, right? We have this mean of the data. This is the mean, right? This is the mean, and we have the standard deviation of the data. So what I'm saying is, if you know the mean and the standard deviation of the data, if you add mean and the standard deviation, and that is the high range, and if you minus this mean and the standard deviation, that is a low range. So we are saying 68% of our data is going to be within this range. It is going to be between 40 and 96.
Okay, thank you.
So if because this is only how many records? You have only 7 records. But let's say you have like tons and tons of records. You want to know what will be the what is your data set is going to look like. These measures are really a good measure for standard deviation. Let's do this two standard deviations. So what I'm going to do is two standard deviation is nothing but we are multiplying the standard deviation by 2 and someone is asking, can you show us how to get the variance and use? Yeah, we can do that. But let's finish this and we'll go there. So what we are going to do is we are going to do the standard deviation. We are going to multiply the standard deviation by 2 and add to the mean and subtract to the mean. So that will give us the like 95% of the data. So let's do that. So 2 times standard deviation is 2 times this is going to be 56. So my high range is going to be mean plus 2 standard deviation, and my low range is going to be minus. So this is what statistics is saying. Your high range for 95% of your data is going to be between 124 and 39. But
How'd you get the
is it true?
124 one again?
Oh, you want to know how we get the 120 now? So the first deviation is what we are doing is, let me write it down. So we are going to, it is this second deviation, right? Standard deviation. So how we are going to find this? It's equal to mean plus 2 times of your standard deviation. So that is the formula. That is for the plus side. Okay? And for the minus side, it is going to be equal to mean minus 2 times of your standard deviation.
Then instead of 39.54, wouldn't it be like 11.1?
Yeah, let me check that. You got it. So what I have done is the formula is not right. Let's check this again. So it is so it is mean minus, yeah, it's going to be mean minus this. So you're right, it is 11.9. So your second standard deviation is saying your 95% of your data is going to be between 11 and 150. This is how I need you to put this hat. See, we already saw this one, right? So we already saw this one. Your statistics is saying that your high range is going to be 124 to 11. So is this right? Because this, I already said that the score is going to be until 100, right? So this you need the subject matter expertise and say your score is going to be 95% of score is going to be between 11 and 100 because our maximum score is 100, right? I already told you that the scores are out of 100. So what does this 11 represent is, this is the, so your 95% of your score is going to be between this 11 and 120. Are you good, or you need you need more information on this?
I'm good.
Is it making sense? Is it making sense?
Yeah, it does now.
If you want me to repeat, I can repeat it.
So third standard deviation is nothing but just mean
Just
times
mean times plus 3. Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So this is what the graph is representing. What we are saying is, in any set of data, if you know the mean and median, and 1 standard deviation will give you 68% of the data, and 2 standard deviation is going to give you 95% of the data, and 3 standard deviation is going to give you 99%. Are you good? This is how we are going to apply the standard deviation and the data. So how did we exactly got the standard deviation? So the standard deviation is the formula here. So if you want, this is the formula to find the standard deviation. If you want, we can do it together. Do you want to do one step at a time for the standard deviation?
Yes, please.
Okay, let's do this. For the same data set, we are going to do it. I'm going to cut the formula. So we have this handy. Here. What we need is this one, right? So let's do this here. So this is the formula. And let's go for this score. We are finding standard deviation for the score, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it here. So this is the score. You have the score. So what you need to find is the mu. Mu is the mean, right? The population mean. So what is the mean? We already calculated the mean. So the mean is 68. So it is going to be, let's look at this one. So it is going to be mean. Mean is going to be so this is the mean. So 68 is the mean. So we have x minus 68. We are going to first find this one, x minus 68. So x minus 68 is, this is the x, right? So the formula is going to be this minus 68.
So 21.
68 is the mean. So what we are going to do is we are going to find this value, x minus mu for this one. This is the mean. Then what we are going to do is we are going to find x minus mu the square. Okay, so I'm going to, this is the x minus mean, and here we are saying x minus mean the whole square. This is what we are going to find it here. So it is going to be like this, right? 1. No, not the power. Sorry, sorry, 2 because
How did you get the numbers for x minus mean?
So mean is 68, right? This is mean, and this is x value. This is x value. So what I'm doing is I'm subtracting 89 and 68. So I'm
okay.
getting 21. So this is the mean. Okay, got it?
Yeah.
Okay, this is x minus. So we are done with this part. Then we are going to do the square. Then what we need to do is we need to find the sum of it. This is the sum. So we need the sum of it. So we need the sum of it. So I'm going to find.
Why are you doing the x minus mean times 2?
So this is the formula, right? Not times 2. No, power 2. I'm doing power 2, not times 2.
Oh, okay.
It's power 2. So I'm squaring it. So then what I need to do is I need to get the sum of this. So this is the sum. So I have the sum. So we got this point. See, summation of this point. Okay. So how many count? What is the count?
7.
7. So we have this one, that this is the top portion, and we have 7. So variance is going to be variance is it is equal to this by 7. Okay, so this is our variance. But what we need to do is we need to have the standard deviation. Standard deviation, the square root of the variance. So you need the standard deviation. So it is going to be square root of this. So
how do you find the variance again?
One moment, let me get this square root of this. Give me a minute. Okay, so this is going to be our standard deviation. So you want, what's your question? You want to know what is variance?
Yeah, how do you find it?
The variance is nothing but this part without the square root of it. So standard deviation is the square root of variance. So variances. So in order to find the variance, you need to just do this formula. What you're going to do is you're going to find the mean. The first step is to find the mean. So when you find the mean, you're going to get what is the difference between the mean and the x value. So that is here. The difference between mean and the x is here. Then I'm doing the square of it. And when I'm going to sum all this mean square, it is going to be my variance. Oh, sorry, this is not the variance. I need to find the sum of this. And then I divide that sum of it by the count. So you need to, so this is the number we got the sum, right? This again, you need to divide that by sum, the count of the numbers. How many count? You have 7. So variance is the sum of everything by the count. So it is going to be like this.
So variance be like, oh.
Yeah. What's your question?
I'm sorry. So would the variance be like x minus mean squared divided by the count?
Yes, exactly. That is the variance. Yeah, without the square root. So if you're doing the square root, that is the standard deviation. So that is the relationship between variance and standard deviation. So if you're doing the square root of variance, that is the standard deviation. So are you good? Do you want to try one more?
Wait,
where did you get the 7?
The 7 is the count. This is the count. How many occurrences we have. So if you look at this, see here, the formula is saying n is the size of the population. So this is the size of the population. And x is the each value. So we are looking at each value. And mu is the population mean. So we found the mean. So first what we did is we know the count, it is 7. And you find the mean of the average of it. And you're finding the difference between x and the mean. So that is the first step. After we did that, we squared it. And after we squared it, we summed it here in this step. And then we divided by the count to get the variance. Yeah.
Okay.
Then the variance is this. Then the standard deviation is when you're getting the root, it is the standard deviation.
So the standard deviation is just the square root of the variance.
Variance, yeah, exactly. You're right. So are you good?
Yeah, and then the variance is just standard deviation, but you don't square it.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. So you're good with this one?
Yeah.
Okay. So we did all these right. We did all these right. This median and the standard deviation. We did mean, median, and standard deviation, right? We did all by with the hard way, right? We did each and every analysis, and we did all the steps. But there are certain ways that you don't need to do all these steps. You can just get the data, the descriptive of the data, just within one click. I don't want to show it first. I want to play with the data. I want you to understand what the differences are before I show you how you can get it in. So if you have Excel, so if you have the scores right, and you go to the data tab, in the data tab, you need to go to data analysis. And in data analysis, you're going to go for the descriptive statistics because we are going to describe the numbers. So we are going to do the descriptive statistics, and I'm going to click OK. And my input range is this. Okay, this is my input range. And the output, I want it somewhere here. Output, I want it here, somewhere here. And I want the summary statistics. If I'm just going to click OK, it is going to give me all the things like what we did now. Okay, I'm going to click OK. So what it is going to give you is this data. So we already saw the mean is 68 and the standard error is 10.7, median is 78. There is no more, right? We already saw that. And the standard deviation was 28.45 and your variance. So you can get this within a click. Right now, you have a calculator, you have a software programs to get all this data, okay, all these descriptive. But you need to know what each means, right? That's why we did all this exercise. Let's do the same descriptive statistics for this gold rate, annual gold rate. Do you have Excel or do you have a Google Sheet? Google Sheet also has this functionality. So explore how you can do that in Google Sheets also. So let's do it for this one. Let's say I'm going to do it for the US dollars. I just want to know how this the data is here for column B. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click data analysis and I need the descriptive statistics. I'm going to click OK. And my input range, I'm going to in the input range from here. This is my input range. And my output, I'm going to give somewhere here. And I want the summary statistics. So when I click it, it is going to give me what is the mean of the data. It's a standard error, standard deviation. So it is giving more. It is giving you more about the data. So this is how you are going to describe a data. You're going to, these are the values that give, like it will tell you, okay, count, we have like data for 44. Whereas if I'm going to do this, it is going to be different, right? We don't have the data for these millimeters. You see, we don't have the data for these millimeters. So this is how you're going to describe the data. Any questions so far? How I did this description?
Do we need to have this program over that you have? I think you're on Excel or something right now.
Yes, Excel, yeah. You can use it Google Sheets also. Google Sheet also has that same functionality. You need to just figure out, you can just figure out where you can find it. Go to your drive.
Do we need to have Excel or Sheets open right now and be working along what you said? Or
yeah. If you want, that would be a great way to do that, right? If you want, you can take a set of data and you can work along with this one. So I'm going to copy this and check Sheets. I never tried in Google Sheets, so this is sheet. So I have it. So I have this one column. I'm going to data. I'm going to data, and I'm going to say column stat. So what it is going to give me is Google is better. See, it's giving you the distribution. It is going to give what is the frequency, total rows, unique values, what is the sum average. I don't see the standard deviation here, but it is giving you more of value here. So all the programs have something like that. So that's what I tell you. Need to understand what each terms, like what is the mean, what is the median, what is the mode, and standard deviation. But the calculation, you need to know the basic calculations, then you will be able to do that. Yeah, you will learn in Python for sure, but I want you to understand the data first. That is what the course is. We are going to get Python, we are going to use NumPy, we are going to use Pandas to understand all this data. But for today's session, the main goal is I want you to understand what each and every term means, how we are going to use it. Are you good? Any questions so far?
So you're basically saying once we learn Python, we're going to use it to do this kind of thing. We're going to program stuff to
yes.
Update about
exactly. Yeah, yes. But you will be learning the program in like for programming, it is 2 lines of code, right? You don't need to know everything, but you need to understand what is these each and every terms in statistics means, how this data is related, how you're like, you need to know what is mean. You need to know how to use mean or where to use mode, all those stuff you need to understand. So that is the main purpose of today's class. So we are talking about statistics, we are talking about various terms in statistics, and we are going to get the feel about the data. And I think this is the right segue to go to homework before I come back here, because I want you to work on this We will be publishing the homework soon, but I will show you the homework.
So when will the homework be published?
The homework will be published today, and I want you to complete the homework and submit it before February 9th. So February 8th, end of February 8th, I want you to.
Also, will the lecture notes and the video be published too?
Yeah, video will be published. Lecture notes, I may have I will publish this presentation for sure. Lecture notes, I don't, and maybe the formulas I will add some. I will publish it.
Okay.
And I hear
So
AI. I don't know. I hear. I see the chat below. AI. We are not sure whether we will start it. For now, we have only the data science class.
So I'm sorry, is the homework again due on February?
Can you repeat your question?
Is the homework due on February 8th?
Yeah, February 8th before 10 p.m. PST.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
What's a
So,
histogram?
yeah, we are going to talk about it. That's why I want to show you first, and we'll go through that. So you're going to. So this is the number, this is the score from the data science students last semester. So I just disclosed it. So this is the score we score set. What I want you to do is I want you to create a histogram and 5-number summary, median, standard deviation for this data set, and I want you to write what do you think about this analysis. Like after finding the mean, median, standard deviation, and the 5-number summary, you're going to tell me what do you think about this data. So that is the first question, and the second
question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, will you be putting in like how to make a histogram on like the slides, or
Yes.
should we just look it up? Oh, okay.
No. I'm going to show you everything. I'm going to show you how to get the 5-number summary. I'm going to give you like all these things. I'm going to show you in the Excel, and you can do it in Excel, or you can do it in hand, or you can do it in Google Doc, whatever you want to do. You can do it. Finally, I want the output to be in a PDF and uploaded in a Grammatical website.
Okay.
So you are going to create a histogram and the 5-number summary, mean, median, mode for this one, the setup data. Then
What's the 5-number summary again?
Yeah, I'm going to talk about it. I just want to give you this so you will pay attention to what I'm going to, what we are going to do in the class. So you're going to do the homework. Okay? So we are going to talk about the 5-number summary histogram. We already talked about mean, median, standard deviation, right? We are going to talk about the histogram and the 5-number summary data. Okay? And this is the first question. The second one is you're going to explore a data set in Kaggle. So if you're already in AI, you might have already this website. So Kaggle is the website that will give you here. So Kaggle is nothing but it's a website that will give you the data set. You can play with the data set. So what I want you to do is you can log in Kaggle because we are going to use the data system here. So log in Kaggle and get a data set, any data set. I got this gold price from here. I got it. You see this gold rate, I got it from here. So you can get any data set. Okay? And what you need to do is you need to find the 5-number summary, mean, median, mode, and standard deviation. And I want you to write your observation on the data.
So for the mean, median, and mode, aren't there like different columns? Do we just take the mean, median, mode, standard deviation for like each column, or
you can do like just one column is enough. I don't want I want you to just right now what I did here. See, I did just for this column, right? So I think this description I just did for this one column, right? So
How do
you
you
just
how,
yeah. Go
how do
ahead.
you get that, like the column one thing with the
Oh,
information?
okay. Yeah, I will show you again. We will come back to all your questions about this one. Let me finish the homework and we will come back here. So you're going to explore a data set in Kaggle and you're going to get all these details. And my third question is, I want you to create a data set. It can be about anything, your school, your favorite your eating habit or anything. I want you to create a data set and bring the data set. Okay. So this is about the homework. Then any questions on the homework? We will be talking about histogram and pi number summary, and we are going to talk about how I got this. I'm going to talk about it. But do you have any questions on the homework? Is the first
For the rubric, it says that like the program runs and comments.
No. Sorry, I'll update it. It's not that one. So it's still a
Oh,
work
okay.
in progress. That's why it is not published. Thank you for pointing it out. It is not published. After you
And
publishing
how
it.
are we supposed to create a data set? From our, do we like create our own survey?
Yeah, you can create your own survey. You can ask your friends, or you can you play games, right? You can create a data set like.
Could you give us an example?
So let's say you're playing a game. What is your highest score? What is the low score? What is your mean score on that one? What is the mode? You play games, right? Video games. Yeah. So you can bring that data. Otherwise, you can even survey your friends. Do you like this? Like, let's say you can create a question and you can ask, like, do you like this movie or do you like this game? Something like that. You come up with. You're going to collect. I want you to have a first-hand experience in collecting the data. That is why that's going to be possible.
Can it be yes or no? Like,
yeah, it can be yes or no. Yeah. You can say like this.
And then like the friend's name would be on one side and
whether
we don't know. I don't.
I don't want the personal information. So let's say you're going to collect the data. So let's talk about data privacy also. I don't want like your friend may like to show their name or may not. So I don't want them to take this. So what you can do is you can say like this. Friend 1.
Okay, so like friend 1, friend 2, student 1,
friend 2, friend 2.
Okay.
And a movie. What kind of movie? Do you like this movie? You can ask. Like you can say, have you ever been to Universal Studios? Have you ever been to Disneyland? You can ask that question. Or you can ask like, do you like Harry Potter movie? So yes or no, you can get that. And I want that as well as their age or their height, something like that. So you're going to collect some first-hand data set. I want you to get experience with collecting the first-hand data set. That's why the third question is you're going to collect. If you want to do the pi number summary or if you want to analyze the data, that's the two. Maybe I can give an extra credit for that. But all you need to do is you're going to get the pi number summary for this, and you're going to get the Kaggle, the pi number summary and mean, median, mode, standard deviation, and you're going to create the personal data set. I don't want you to get data from the secondary source. I want you to create.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
So if you have like a yes/no question and you get data for that, how do you calculate like the mean and everything?
So you won't be able to find the mean. That is why we have the mode, right?
Okay, so you would just like put in the mode for that?
Yeah, mode for that. Yeah, that's why it's a good question. See, you're thinking about qualitative data and quantitative data and what are the terms that you are going to analyze the data. That's a good way. That is the thinking process I want to achieve with this class. You need to know what kind of data you're going to collect and how you're going to analyze and what are the terms that you use. That is the thing you need to know.
For the data set that we create, would it have to be like two different options, like a yes or no? Or can it just be like a listed out straight like list of or like ages or stuff, like 12.
Yeah, you can do that. You can do that. You can whatever way you want. Get at least 2 or 3 parameters. Let's say you're going to talk about the movie. Get some. Try to mix and match with qualitative and quantitative data, like their age, their height, weight. You can get that, and you can get whether they like that movie or not. Something like that. You're going to get the data set, and we are going to talk about that next week. That's what. Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
So, by the 5-number summary, does that mean we just need 5 numbers, or like?
No, we are going to talk about it for
Oh,
sure.
okay.
I'm going to talk about because I need to. So this is my expectation. So you are going to do the 5-number summary, mean, median, standard deviation, and histogram. I'm going to show that now. Okay. So do you want to take a break, like 5 to 10 minutes break, and come back, and we can talk about that?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's take a break, and we'll come back.
How long is the break gonna?
Are you all right? Can we start the session?
Yeah.
I hope you have some nice break and have some water. Okay, let's start. So we are going to talk about the 5-number summary. We are going to talk about the histogram. So start sharing. So can you see these numbers? Just randomly created some numbers.
We can't hear you very well.
You cannot hear.
Yeah.
How about, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it good now?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
So we are going to talk about the 5-number summary. Okay. So what is 5-number summary? I'm going to share the. Let me share my whiteboard. So I'm talking about the 5-number summary. So when you have these numbers, any numbers, what they like, we are going to sort it. Sort as we are going to arrange it in ascending order. Then after we arrange it in the ascending order, you have like minimum and max, right? You have your minimum and your max. So this is your minimum and this is your max. And this in between, you have a number. What is the in between number between minimum and max? What is in between number?
The median.
Median. So we have the median. So the median is the in between number, and the number in between the minimum and the median is the 25th percentile. We will call this Q1. And the number in between the median and the max is we call Q3. That is, we call it as the 75th percentile. So this is the 5-number summary. So when you take a number set, if you're talking about the minimum, so this is going to be your minimum, right? Minimum. And this is going to be your max. So when you look at this number set, you will find the minimum and max. And the between is your median, right? Median. And this is going to be your Q1. And this is going to be your Q3. So whenever we are looking at a number set, these are the 5 numbers we are going to talk about. So whenever I'm saying about 5-number summary, you're going to find what is the minimum in the range, what is the maximum, what is the median, and what is in between your minimum and the median, and what is in between the median and max. So this is the 5-number summary. Are you good?
So is Q1 and Q3 the mean of the numbers or the median? Of the
It's
numbers?
not. It's a median of the numbers. Median between. So Q1 and Q3 is.
So median of the numbers in between the minimum and the median.
And
right?
median. Yes, exactly. So what you're doing is you're splitting your data set into 2 based on the median, and then you're finding the median for both data sets. So that will be your Q1 and Q3. So are you getting it? The concept behind it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, let me go back and can you
You
see?
don't want us to like factor in the outliers or anything, right?
Not now, not now. We are going to do the outliers later. But what we need to do is right now we are going to talk about the numbers, and we are just going to talk about the 5 numbers.
Okay.
So because you need to know the 5 numbers in order to do your outliers. Okay. Now I have set up 23 numbers. Can you see this set up 23 numbers? So what I need to do is, what after getting the data, what you need to do? The first step.
Identify the minimum and maximum.
Minimum and maximum. And then you need to sort it, right? You need to sort it so you know how the data is looking at. So I'm going to sort it data, sort. I'm going to sort by ascending order. So I have my data set sorted. So can you see now bigger? I just made it a little bigger for you. So I did my, so this is going to be my minimum, right? This is going to be my minimum. And this is going to be my maximum. And what is going to be my median? So it is something in between this number. So how many numbers we have? Like 23. So what will be my middle number?
12.
Wow. So this is going to be median. Okay. So I have now three numbers. So I have for 5 number summary, I have 3. So you need to find what is the Q1, right? You need to find what is Q1. So here in between this, what is the number in between this? So you need to find the median between this. So here you have a formula. If you want, you can use a formula, or you can just do by just looking at it. Either way is fine with me. So if you want a formula, I can show you. It's equal to quartile. We will call it as quartile in Excel. And I want the quartile of this one. So I want the quartile, and I want the first quartile. So that means I want the 25th. So this is going to be my first quartile. And my third quartile is going to be number set. Change the formula. So that means you want the third quartile. So this is how you can find the 5 number summary. So you need to find the minimum, maximum, median, and what is in between the min and median, and what is in between median and max. So this is called the 5 number summary.
Can't you just like
Just making sure. Sorry, go ahead.
Can't you just like solve it to make it in order, then just like get like the first number, then the middle number, the last number, and in between?
Yeah. I did that, right? I already sorted. You can do that. Yeah, you can do that by just looking at it, or you can use a formula.
Okay.
It is
excuse me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just making sure this isn't the histogram, right? This is a 5 number.
This is not. It is the 5 number summary. We are going to do histogram later. So you're good with this one?
I just have one more question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So after you show us how to do the histogram, can you show us how to like put the 5 number summary and the histogram on Kaggle?
No, we are not going to do it now. So what I want you to do is whatever, if you want to do it in Kaggle, you can do it. But for this class, what the main purpose is, you're going to do it in any method you want. So the method I'm going to show is now in Excel or in Google Docs.
Okay. So then then what do we use Kaggle for then? I thought it was supposed to be for that.
Oh, so the Kaggle, what you're going to do is you're going to explore a data set. You're going to go to Kaggle. Yeah, you're going to go to Kaggle and open a data set. You can open a data set and take this. So if you click on the data set, you can take it and you can download the data set and do like get the data. So when you download it, you will get like an archive. Like you get the data, open it, and I want you to do the 5-number summary and histogram, whatever you want to do there. See?
Oh,
This
so
is
we
the
have to
data
use
set.
the data set from that.
Kaggle, yeah, Kaggle.
Oh,
Or
okay.
if you have like in my PowerPoint, I have more data set, right? The resources. You can either use Kaggle or you can use this data set. Like if
Okay.
so, you can use any public set data set. So the homework is I gave one data set, and then the second one you are going to get a data set from secondary source, and third you're going to keep your own data set. So from Kaggle, you're just going to download it. I can explain it here if you want. I can explain it here.
No, I understand it now. I get
Understand it? Okay. So are you good? So are you good with the 5-number summary here? Like what does 5-number summary like? How to get it? So
Could you show us?
Yeah, go ahead.
Could you show like the formulas on Excel to
Formulas?
find the numbers?
Yeah. See, I will do this so you know this is the formula.
Okay, thank you.
So in this way, you see the formula. You can do everything in the formula, right? You don't need to have you don't need to even start it. You can do everything in a formula. So I'm going to show you. So this is the same thing, right? So min, max. So this is the formula. I'm just adding a single quote in front of the formula, so you know the formula here.
Okay.
After finding the, see, this is the 5-number summary. You're good with the 5-number summary? So 5-number summary is you're going to get the minimum, maximum, median, Q1 and Q3. And the Q1 is the median between min and median, and Q3 is the median between median and max. So this is the 5-number. Why do we need this 5-number? Why do we need to find it? Any ideas, any thoughts?
You can look at the distribution of the data.
Yes, exactly. You can look at the distribution, how your data is like diverse data you have. Do you have any outliers? This analysis will help you to find the outliers. So good with this 5-number summary. Can we move to the histogram?
Yes.
Okay, let's move to histogram. And before moving to histogram, I want to show you certain data sets or certain places where we have. Have you ever been to this website? So this is the dashboard for the COVID. Have you ever been to this website? COVID, the Johns Hopkins dashboard.
No.
So see, if you look at that, it will give you all the graphical representation on the data here. This data, you can see all the graphs, how they are represented. Can you see the different type of charts and graphs they are using here? Even this is a type of graph. Can you see this here in the world map? With a dot plot, they are making it like they are giving you where the concentration is. It is easier when you do the data visualization. And see, all these graphs will give you more. And it is like a dynamic one. all the graphs are here. See, this is the frequency. What they have done, this is kind of a histogram. What they have done is they are plotting the incidence based on the timeline and they are plotting it. So what you're seeing is the graph for a particular period, what happened. You're seeing it here, right? So this is what we are going to do in Excel. And I want to show you this so you know, like, this pictorial representation is really good. And have you ever finance? I want to show you one. Before jumping in, I want to show you all those so you can connect it. I'm going to show you a few more charts before we go to our histogram. So if you look at that, I'm going to just look at this chart. Can you see this? The ups and downs. Can you see it here? And when you're seeing it in numbers, it is not easy to identify the data. When I show this the goal rate chart, when I show this one, we're just looking at the numbers, right? But when I'm going to put it in the graph, the visibility when you're plotting any data in a graph, it is going to give you a big story, right? That is why we are going to use the charts and graph. You understand why we are doing this charting and graph? Because it is going to add more level. It is going to give you more understanding of the data.
So we're basically using a graph to help us visualize the data.
Yes, exactly. You got it right. So when there is a saying, right? A picture worth 1,000 words. You can see all the data, but it is when if you are not putting it in a graph, if you're not going to analyze it, it is not going to give any value. So when you are analyzing it, you see, okay, there is a trend. You can see there is an anomaly, and you see the outliers. Everything you can see in the data visualization.
So that was the histogram?
No, that is one of the chart. Histogram
okay.
is just one of the chart. We have a multiple ways to describe. So histogram is just one part of it. See, this is the line chart, scatter chart. This is the scatter chart, right? Scatter chart, line charts. We have we have a variety of charts. I want to just work on one chart, the histogram chart, because the histogram chart will give you the full curve. So it is easy for you to understand that. That's why we are starting with the basic one, histogram. Okay. The graphs you have more. So let's start with the histogram. So I think I have my numbers.
And then how do we add the histogram to our homework?
You can add a picture of it, right? You can say after the
okay.
Yeah, at the end, you need to just upload a PDF. Everything you are combining in one, and you're going to upload a PDF. Or if you want, you can even do that in in hand. If you want to draw in hand, that's fine. Okay. So, and someone also want me to show how I got this column one, right? Let's show the column one. Someone wants me to show how I got this one, right? I'm going to show now. Both we are going to work on with this data. This is just a random number. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first start with the descriptive. We got the file number here, and I'm going to show you the data analysis. So in Excel, you can go to data tab. See here, you have all the tabs, right? Go to data tab and do data analysis. Click on the data analysis, and you're going to look for the descriptive statistics. Okay. Look for the descriptive statistics and click OK. And you are going to give you the input. What like input range, you're going to select the input range. So the input range is going to be here. So that is my input range. This is the input. And the output, where do you want your output? I'm saying I want my output here. So I have my output here. And you want the summary statistics. Okay? So first you start with the data tab, then go to the data analysis. Then you are going to give the input and you're going to give the output and summary statistics. Then you're going to click OK. So it is going to give you the mean, median, standard deviation, all those summary. And
So
yeah, go ahead.
is the input and the so wait, can you go back to the data analysis?
Yeah, let me delete it. Let's do this one more time. So I have this one, right? I have this. If you're not seeing this data analysis in your Excel, you may not have it. What you need to do is you need to go to File, Options, and you need to make sure it is there in your Trust Center. No, not in Trust Center. I believe it is in add-ins. You need to make sure you're going to add-ins. Options, add-ins, and we'll be adding in here the analysis toolbar. We are going to add it. I already have it. That's why I'm showing it here. If you don't have it, let's say in your Excel, if you don't have this data analysis, you may need to go to File, Options, and Add-ins, and add this analysis toolbar if you don't have it. If you have it, let's do that. Do you see it in your Excel or you don't see it?
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
You see it. Okay. So if you don't see it, you need to do it. So if you see it, so what you need to do is you need to go to the data tab. That is the first step. Go to data tab. Then you're going to click the data analysis and you're going to use the descriptive. We have a lot of analysis you can do. But we are going to start with the descriptive statistics. Okay? Descriptive statistics and click OK. Then it will ask for your input. So the input.
Yeah, that's what I had the question on. So how do you know which input? Oh, you just drag it. Okay.
Drag it, yeah. So because this is the data you're going to analyze, right? So whatever the data you're going to analyze is your input.
Okay.
And output is where you want the data to show. You want to show it here or which tab, whatever you want, that is the output. That the location where your output
is. So the output range is where like it'll show all the descriptive statistics.
Yes, exactly. Okay. So if I'm going to change it here, it is going to show it here, the output range. So the output is where you want. This is the location of your result, and input is the data that you're going to analyze.
Okay.
And always, like when you're working on summary statistics for this descriptive, click the summary statistics.
Okay.
And when you click OK, it is going to give you all the summary. It is going to give you what is the mean, median, standard deviation, maximum, and minimum.
Okay. So when we do our data, do you want it to look like this?
Yeah, you can just do this. You can just add this. So it is giving you standard deviation, minimum, max, and it is going to give you the range. But it is not giving me my 5-number summary.
Yeah,
I need the quartile. You may need to add the quartile here. So you can add this. So this is you can add here like Q1, Q2, you can add it here.
Okay. So for quartile, it's just the middle between the medium
and max. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
So on the data analysis tab, I also saw the option called histogram. Are we going to use that to make the histogram?
Yes, you can use that. You can use that.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, you can use that. Google Sheet, I am not that familiar with Google Sheet. Google Sheet, if you look at that, so in the Google Sheet, what I have seen here is this. So if you click on the column, it is going to give you the what is the sum, average is the mean, median, min, max. You need to anyway find the Q1 and Q2 and the standard deviation. And the standard deviation in Google Sheet, what you can do is you can I think it is the insert function and the statistical. If you go to statistical in Google Doc, you can see all these functions. The standard deviation is here, and the quartile, see quartile is here. So you can do this in a Google Doc, the same thing. The formula is just a different way to get it. So here you can get it like when you click on the column Google Sheet, you can get this one. In Excel, you will do by the analysis tab. So are you good? Shall we move to the histogram? Any questions?
Nope.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, any other questions? Do you want, can we move to the histogram?
When will the homework be published?
By end of today.
Okay.
Wait, can you show the histogram one more time? I don't know, my screen froze and.
No, histogram I'm going to show you now. I haven't, no, I'm going to show now histogram. So for histogram, you need, so when you know the descriptive statistics, you know the minimum and max, and you can say, see, just like you have like, let's do this. I'm going to, so now I see this in, like, if you look at that, I have 300,000 and my maximum value is 9 million, right? So what I'm going to do for the histogram, you need to create a bin for the histogram. Okay? So my bin is like what values I want to put each. So I'm going to say until 1 million, I want in one bin. And the second million, I want to be in the next bin. Okay, it's not. What I'm going to say is, I see the min and max, right? It's the minimum and max. My minimum number is 300,000. My maximum is 9.8. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create my bin. Bin is like what category you are going to categorize your numbers. I'm going to category based on the million. So what I have is I have 9 million. This is going to be my bin. So what I'm going to say is categorize these numbers according to this bin. Okay? So that is what I'm going to tell, and I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, I first categorize it. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to data tab. Data tab, I'm going to do the data analysis, and I'm going to use the histogram. Okay, and click OK. And here you need two things. You need the input range and the bin range. That's why we created a bin. Okay. So first we are going to talk about the input range. So here is the input range. That is the input. And bin, this is the bin. Okay. Bin means like how you want to categorize the data. Let's say you have let's say you have when you go to the shops, they will put everything in a bin, right? Like in every each they sorted by a size or they sorted by some category. So here we are categorizing by the number. Then I want my output range here. So I want my histogram here. So here. Then I'm going to click OK. So you get this frequency. See, what it did is it is dividing. So until 1 million, I have 3 numbers. Okay. In 6 million range, I have like how many numbers? I have like 4 numbers. So it is categorizing it. When I click the histogram, it categorizes. Then what you need to do is you're going to take this and you're going to insert and chart. So you're going to insert the chart and click OK. So you got the chart. So the histogram, only difference between the bar chart and the histogram is the histogram is continuous. So what we are going to do is we are going to click on this chart title, this one, and then you will see the chart. So we don't want the gap, so I'm going to reduce the gap. So this is the histogram. Okay. So I'm going to show you one more time, one or two more time. Just I want to make sure you're okay with this. So the histogram is nothing but what we are going to do is we are going to categorize the data into multiple bins. And we are going to get the frequency for under each bin, how many records are there. Then we are going to plot it.
Is there a way to do this without the data analysis?
Yeah, you can do that. So what you can do, so do the same thing. Let's do the same thing here. So I'm going to get this data here. Without the data analysis, I will show. So you have this, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to categorize into my bins. So that is what I'm going to do. So this is 1 million. So I want until the, 2 million.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So since you only typed one number of each throughout from 1 million to 9 million, how did you get the frequency of multiple numbers?
I'm going to do that with you. Give me a minute. So we have these many bins, right? We have a bin of 1 million, 2 million, 3 million. So we are going to see here. So we are going to see here and we are going to count it. Okay. So under 1 million, yeah, under like how many are there under 1 million? I'm seeing 3 records. Okay. And how many are there between 1 and 2 million? I see 1 record. So how many are in 3 million? So yeah. So this is how you are going to categorize it. But what Excel did, it already categorized it for you. So if you look at that, we have the tools to categorize. We just need to tell the bin and it is going to categorize. So let's do it again. I'm going to show you it one more time.
Do you have to label it bin, or it doesn't matter like what name you give it?
It's better to you can it's better to name it. For now, I'm going to just put this as a bin. So I'm going to start it again. The histogram to show the histogram. So here the data and these are minimum and a maximum. We have this is the number minimum and maximum. So what I did, I created a bin, all these bin. So when after I created the bin is nothing but the category. Okay, you are saying like if you're going for t-shirt size, medium, small, large, all those category, right? Just like that, you are categorizing the number.
Are we allowed to like name it category, or do we like have to use the word bin?
No, you don't need to. You can category. Yeah, you can do that. I'm just for the sake of simplicity, I have it as bin because histogram is asking for bin, right? So I don't want you to get confused. If I'm saying category here, when you go to histogram like data analysis, it is going to ask for bin. I don't want you to get confused. That's why I named it as bin. You can just name it as category. It doesn't matter. Okay. So I have it. So I'm going to do it one more time here. So I'm clearing everything. Okay. So let's start here. So the input range is the data that we are going to analyze. Okay. So that is the input range. Then the bin range. So this is the bin. So this is the input. So let's start with the input. My mouse is here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it manually. So that is going to be my input. So that is going to be my input. And my bin is going to be here. So this is my bin. Let me do it again. So the bin is going to be from C5, right? C5. C5 to C13. And my output range is going to be somewhere here. I want my output to be here. So this is my bin. So what Excel did is it categorized my data into various categories. Okay? Then what you need to do is I'm going to copy this. I'm going to select it and go to insert charts. I have this chart. Okay, so I'm going to add this chart. So once the chart is here, you're going to remove the gaps between the chart. If the gaps are there, that is not a histogram. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this chart, this one of the bar, and go here. When I see, if I'm not clicking it, you won't see that. So I need to click this bar and I will see this icon. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, I don't want any gap. So this is your histogram. Okay. Let's say if you're not able to create a histogram, I want you to create any other chart that describes the data. Let's say if you find that histogram is really hard, you can create any other chart. You can say, let's say you can create a line chart, you can create another bar chart, anything you want. Okay? For this time, I just want to show the histogram, that's it. Okay? If you want to draw any chart, that's fine. I will change it. If you're not able to follow the histogram.
So after you list your million, so like when you go from or whatever our data set is, let's say it's from like 100,000 to 1,000,000. Once you like list those, you click on data analysis and you go to histogram and then you do all that, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. If you want, I can show you one more time.
Wait, what comes up in the more category?
But more categories, you see, I have like, if anything other than that, maybe it has like, so probably this is more because let's see, that's a good question. Give me a moment. It has like 20, but we have 23. So more means we have like more, like it is not until 9 million, we have until 10 million. That's a good question. See? This is how we are going to do it. So what we are going to do is we are going to do one more time. Let's do that together.
Oh, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, so then I created like an input thing with like 103, 105, and then 203, 205. And then in the bin, I put 100 and 200. And then I did the histogram, but then it shows the bin 100, but then the frequency is 0.
Okay, let's do that. Let me finish. Let me show this and you can share your screen and we can go ahead and fix it. Okay.
Okay.
Let's do this one more time because my, as you mentioned, we don't have the 10 million category. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do data analysis, the histogram, and it is going to be the same thing except for my category. I have one more row. So I'm going to change my category to add one more row. Yeah, here is your category. Now you don't have more because that 10 million was missing. That's why we had more. Now I'm going to do the histogram. Let's do the histogram. Insert charts. And I want this chart. And here I'm going to find this. And then I'm going to click on this. And here I'm going to do this. So this is my histogram. And if I want to add a chart label, I can add the chart label, a data label. I can add the labels. You can change it. So are you good with this one? So why the main purpose is how you're going to analyze it. Okay. So somebody said they have an issue, right? Can you go ahead and share?
Oh yeah, I solved it.
You solved it? Okay, that's good. So in the Google Sheet, let's see if we can find the graphs here. Okay, we have a chart. Yeah, we have a chart here. Let's do the same thing here. I'm going to take this frequency here, Google Sheets, and I'm going to draw the chart. Chart insert, chart, the frequency gain. So it's here. It created a chart, frequency versus gain. And here, I'm not sure how to edit it. Figure out how we can edit the tab or anything. You can figure it out. If you have issues, just publish with this. If you're not able to reduce the gap, that's fine. So are you good so far?
Yeah.
Okay. So we talked about the 5 number summary. We talked about, okay, so when we see this is the relationship between the mean and the median. When your mean is less than the median, your data, most of your data is going to be in right and it is left skewed. When mean and median are equal, then you will see that the data is distributed equally. When mean is greater than the median, your data is going to show like this. So all these, like the mean and median and standard deviation, all these are key to analyze the data. So when you compare the mean, and you can also say, like when you're comparing in the homework, when you're seeing mean and median, you can say where your data is, like you can compare the mean and median and tell whether it is like where it is skewed, whether it is skewed left, right, or symmetric. You can say that. And here are the common shapes for the distribution. When your data is mostly in the left, it is rightly skewed. When your data is mostly on the right, it is left skewed. When the data is distributed properly, you will see a bell shape. All these are, yeah, go ahead.
So, like, wherever the tail thing is where it's skewed to?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so no, the tail, based on the tail, it is skewed. So see, if you see, the skew to right if the data is piled up on the left and tail extends related to the right. So if the tail is ending to right, then it is right skew. If the tail is ending to the left, if the tail, then it is rightly skewed. So I'm going to publish it, just read it and just get familiar with these terms, like how the distribution is going to be. You're going to compare the mean and median, and you're going to tell that it's rightly skewed or leftly. So you can, like this one, you're going to write your observation, right? To compare mean and median and check the spread of the data. You're going to conduct it. Next, I think we talked about the 5 number summary. And so finally, these are the libraries that we will be watching in order to do all these visualization and all these calculations. These are the libraries you're going to work. And if you want, here are some formulas that you can use in Python to get the mean, median, and mode. And so right now for the first session, we are not, so as I mentioned, see, we are looking at these 3 skills. You already
will
have
this
some
be published?
But it will be published, not yet. It is not published yet. It will be published.
Thank you.
And you already have experience with the programming. With the first semester, we worked on the programming. So the next semester, this semester, we are going to concentrate on the statistics. Then this, and we are going to combine all 3. Throughout the semester, we are going to combine all 3 to analyze the data. So in order to analyze the data, you need to know the statistics. That's why the first session and the second session is mostly statistics. Any questions so far? Anyone summarize what we have learned today and what are the takeaways that you have? Can anyone summarize it?
We learned how to analyze and collect data, and we also learned mean, median, the two quartiles, and standard deviation.
So
And
yeah, go ahead. Yeah, and more. So you need to understand whenever you're looking at the data, just try to incorporate whatever you learned today to the data set you are seeing. Whether the data is normally spread, what will be the median. Whenever you're looking at something, just pay attention to the statistics terms. So people incorporate in the thinking. For all the normal day-to-day life, any words you're hearing, just incorporate it. Any questions on the homework or any other questions?
yeah, where will the homework be posted? Where can we?
Homework will be posted in the Math Circle website. Let me here and show you.
So like, will it show up on our account when we log in?
Yes, it will show. Yeah, it will show in the class material. When you go to the class material, you will see that. Yes, you see that.
Okay. Yeah, that was my only question.
Okay. So we will publish it. It is not published yet, and we will be publishing it because I want to get your feedback before publishing the homework and the chart. Because if you need more data, I want to incorporate something presentation too. That's why I'm getting some. Okay, yeah, Krishna, that's good summary. Yeah, if you don't have any questions or anything, I think we can wrap up and talk to you in 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Don't forget to subscribe and like. If you have any questions, you can email info@agoramathcircle.org or comment below and we'll reply back. Maybe. And if you want to see practice things or anything about us, you can visit our website, which is basically the end of the email, but without the info and the end. So bye.